What's up, manga fans, and welcome back to another review of Bleach. This week's chapter 652, The Theatre Suicide Scene 6. So, surprisingly, Kubo has given us even more information regarding Koryaku's backstory with Nanoa's mother, and along with Nanoa herself having a bit of a backstory, which was very elaborate and gave us information I didn't believe we needed, but it expands on the story of, as I said, their history years ago, and it's a very depressing but somewhat bittersweet one, especially regarding with the fate of Nanoa's mother, which was very depressing, but such a I'd say beautiful sacrifice for a daughter. Now, in Nanoa's side of the you might say flashback, she has already met Koryaku back when she was still, very young, very young, when her mother was still alive. And we learn that Koryaku originally didn't want the sword of the Ize family. He obviously couldn't accept something so precious, but Nanoa's mother had so much trust in him. Like she said, I have so much trust in you outside of the Izzy family. It's like, I really want you to take this, along with the fact that the sword cannot be used outside the Izzy house. It would just be completely useless. So he accepts it. And Nonoa basically remembers key points from him. Like he's attire that he had hairpins similar to her mother's, which were most likely hers. And the Hiyori he wore was very flowery, another similar aspect to Nonoa's mother's. So after Nanoa had passed away now, she was adopted into a couple that was basically related to the Ize family. And later on, she goes to, the Shinigami Academy and basically trains to become part of the Gote 13. Now, we find out the reason why she's never had a Zanpakuto. Apparently, when she was obviously given a Suchi, she failed to make it her own. So she basically failed to make a Zanpakuto. But her Kido skills were, as we know, high class, high level. So that gave her more than enough chance to take the squad exam, which she surprisingly was accepted. She was recruited into Squad A. Now, this is pretty much obviously because Koryaku knew this is Nanoa's mother's, Nanoa's mother's daughter or whatever her name is, because we don't know. So he's taken her in most likely because of the guilt he had from what happened to Noah's mother, and obviously as a protection, so to keep her as close as possible. So when Nanoa meets, Koryaku for the first time, she's like, "You're the person my mother gave that precious thing to," and then this is like, a full circle of them finally meeting again. Now, Koryaku's side of the backstory was very like depressing. It was a burden, and obviously he's been carrying his guilt for years. We learned that from Ukatake that someone was executed for losing the sacred treasure from a certain family. Now we can only assume that was Nanoa's mother. She pretty much sacrificed herself, handing over the family sword to Koryaku to keep her, daughter safe from, following that same curse of marrying someone and then that husband died. So for her to literally give up her life for her daughter is beautiful, but can you imagine the pain Koryaku must have been carrying all this time and the guilt of knowing that technically he helped kill Nanoa's mother? Like, not obviously directly, but he finding that out, like, oh my god, she was executed and I've taken this. She knew all of this. Whether it's never actually made clear if he knew or not, but the fact remains he knows he took this on and it resulted in her death. And we see that this guilt is not only towards Nanoa's mother. When Koryaku's brother died, he handed over Nanoa's mother's hairpins to him, and then obviously you have Nanoa's mother giving her, him her sword. So he has this kind of like recurring theme with these people. It's like, why does everyone who entrusts me with important things pass away? And this leads him at the end of the chapter to basically, like, kind of resolve himself to protect Nanoa. He's like, I'm sorry that I'm going to reclaim the sword, but I have to protect. I really want to protect you to take this burden off of me, because he's imagining if I give Nanoa this special thing, either I'm going to die or she's going to die. I can imagine it's that kind of theme or circle he wants to break. Now, going on to the sword itself, it's, as I said, godlike. It has the power to reflect the ability of a god. So we see from Lille's perspective that the sword, he can't even see it. There's so much light basically refracting or spreading from it that he can't see, and he calls it tacky. But this is actually, you know, the light from Lille's eyes being, you know, kind of sucked in a way and spread. So it's like the energy from him is being dispersed. And this is, as I said, measuring up and reflecting the ability of the god. So the sneak attack Nanao tried last time actually failed. He basically parries the attack away. She thought she got the jump on him, but it didn't actually, you know, really work. But the attack is not, you know, without any damage, because she actually manages to cut a bit off him, and the energy disperses everywhere, as the, you know, the theory behind the sword says. When it touches a god's body, it disperses the godlike energy. So it was effective, but unfortunately for her, he's pretty much said, "Oh, you actually managed to cut me," but it's like, I'm not going to take any chances, and he starts charging up this massive energy to kill her off, which leads, you know, Koryaku to have his monologue and come out of Nanoa's shadow, and basically he grasps her hand saying, "I'm sorry that I'm claiming the sword again, but it's like, I need to rid this burden of me, and I want to protect you." So yeah, as I said, it was very, you know, heartfelt chapter. It shows the kind of bonds Nanao and Koryaku must have built over the years. Whether it's romantic or not, it's still beautiful, and the fact that they're both linked to them, you know, Nanoa's mother, shows how tightly woven their backstory is, and how, you know, how good of a team and a pairing they are. So I wasn't, you know, I was actually kind of hoping that Nanao would, you know, take down Lille alone, or she would get a bit of a highlight. But I don't mind the idea of a tag team being, you know, the outcome of this battle, and they take him down, kind of similar to when Rangiku was trying to help Toshiro until he got his Bankai to take down Can-Do. And obviously, you know, Captain Commander needs to win this. He can't be, you know, sitting on the side for this. So yeah, as I said, it was a very depressing chapter, but I really enjoyed that Kubo, you know, kind of elaborated on this more. What happened to the Noah's mother? Why was Koryaku so solemn and guilty about this? All of that flirting and he must have done all this time pretty much showed that Koryaku was putting on a farce all this time towards girls, just to hide, most likely. It's probably part of his personality, but I feel like it was mostly forced, especially when we see how he was acting with, you know, his Zanpakuto when she came out. Then obviously how he was reacting with Nanao when he was explaining the whole reason behind, you know, the sword and everything. All this guilt he must have been holding on for years must have been eating away with him. Now he's, you know, he really wants to be rid of this burden and wants to protect Nanao to kind of make up for, you know, her mother's death. So yeah, I enjoyed it. As I said, it's, you know, cheesy in a way, but this is the stuff you expect from Bleach. It's character development, character backstory, and, you know, the kind of matched up battles that are more based on story rather than power and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to see what happens. Hopefully Lille will, you know, bite the dust soon, and then hopefully Nanao and Koryaku will survive this. I just don't want to see either of them die, especially not at this point. But we'll just see what Kubo does. So yeah, as I said, good chat. I enjoyed, you know, more information. I can't wait for the next one. So you guys know the usual. If you've got anything to say about this chapter, any theories, predictions, let me know what you think, and I'll speak to you guys next time. Take care.